Planet Dolan.
How did a dying woman knock 6 hospital workers unconscious without moving a muscle? How did a woman live in a man's closet for a year without him even knowing about it? These are 10 of the most brutal and shocking urban legend stories that actually are true.
My name is Nixium, and today, I'll be your narrator.
Number 10. Cooked alive. Being cooked alive in a factory oven is something that sounds like it would be from a horror movie, but for 54-year-old Alan Catterall, it was sadly one of his last memories. Catterall was inside the oven to clean it because there had been a problem that morning, but another man, who coincidentally was the man engaged to Catterall's daughter, turned the oven on. Catterall had no way to escape from inside the locked oven, and nobody heard him call for help until it was too late. Nobody even realized that there was a problem until smoke started seeping out from the oven. Number 9. Man bites dog. Do you think you've been in a toxic relationship before? Well, try this one on for size. In 2014, a woman fled her apartment after being physically assaulted. Now that's bad enough to start, but when she came back, she thought he had cooked her a meal to apologize, but for some reason her dog, a Pomeranian, was gone. That was explained when the man sent her a text message saying, "How's your dog taste? I thought it was better with barbecue and those Hawaiian buns. I guess you could bury what you didn't eat." The next morning, he left a bag outside the door with 2 dog paws in it and a note telling her to burn in hell, with a smiley face. He was arrested on counts of domestic violence and animal cruelty, but even the police in the case were shocked. Number 8. Elevator amputation. Being trapped in an elevator is the fear of many claustrophobics, but this is a story about the other way to get trapped by an elevator. In Dallas, Texas, a doctor walking into the elevator had the doors close on his shoulders. Now, normally an elevator would stop and open the doors back up when it felt something block it like that, but this elevator was apparently faulty and started going up with the doctor still stuck, decapitating the doctor in the process. Now, ironically, that elevator was on the 2nd floor of the hospital that he worked in, but the doctor died instantly, so there was no chance of saving him. Number 7. Haunted baby monitor. The sounds coming out of a Canadian couple's video camera were something out of nightmares. The couple had a baby monitor camera installed to watch their son in his crib, but one day, the man heard creepy music coming from the camera, along with a man's voice saying, as he rocks his son to sleep. The father took his son into the other room and disconnected the camera immediately. It turns out that that family was the target of a hacking prank. They have no idea how long they were being watched through that camera. Number 6. Killer Wedgie. The Wedgie is a staple of schoolyard bullies, but it's unusual to see anybody over the age of 12 actually try to use it in a fistfight. But don't tell that to 33-year-old Bradley Davis, who used the atomic wedgie on his stepfather and killed him. For those not familiar, the atomic wedgie is when you pull someone's underwear up from behind them and wrap it over their head. Davis did exactly this, getting the band of his stepfather's underwear wrapped around his neck, which cut off his air supply and suffocated him. Number 5. The library murder. An unsolved murder is also a good urban legend, especially when it happens in a library. There aren't any well-known stories about Penn State's library being haunted, but after Betsy Aardsma died in 1969, there could have been. She was stabbed to death in the Penn State Library with no witnesses or records of it happening, and her murder was never even solved. In fact, there was never enough evidence to even accuse anybody. The man that investigators believed was the most likely suspect, a friend of Aardsma, died in 2002 without ever being charged. Number 4. Toxic Lady. In 1994, a woman posed a medical mystery that still hasn't been solved. 6 weeks after being diagnosed with cervical cancer, she came to the emergency room with severe stomach and chest pains. She died that day in the emergency room, but that isn't the weird part. Her body started emitting some sort of unidentified toxic fumes as she died that caused 6 emergency room workers to collapse, 2 of which were hospitalized. Nobody could figure out what was happening to her, and because they couldn't identify the cause, she was not even allowed to have an open casket funeral without biohazard suits. Number 3. Call from inside the house. The stalker calling from inside the house is basically an internet meme more than something scary at this point, but it was also somebody's real-life nightmare. 18-year-old Kyle Ravenscroft texted his 16-year-old victim that he was standing in the grounds of her house. The text messages continued all day, with him texting ominous messages like, "I'm watching you." Eventually, the girl found him under her bed and asked him what he was doing there. Luckily, it wasn't actually a slasher movie, so he just ran away, and he later pled guilty to stalking to avoid jail time. Number 2. Halloween hanging. Around Halloween, nobody thinks anything of bodies hanging from trees. It is probably the only time of year that people don't think anything of bodies hanging from trees. So in October of 2005, when a human-shaped object was seen hanging from a tree, everybody assumed it was, just a Halloween decoration. But it wasn't. It was the actual dead body of a 42-year-old woman who had committed suicide. Her body was easily visible to passing cars on the road, but it took more than 3 hours before anybody actually noticed and called the police. And number 1, the monster in the closet. A 57-year-old man in the small town of Kasuya, Japan, started noticing that food and various materials were going missing from his home on a pretty regular basis. Assuming there was a burglar sneaking in while he was at work, the man installed security cameras. But what he found wasn't a burglar breaking in from the outside, but rather a 58-year-old homeless woman living on the top shelf of his closet. She had even moved a mattress into the space to sleep on and took regular showers while the man was gone so he wouldn't smell her. Police came to remove the woman from his home. She told them that she had snuck into the house about a year ago because she had no place to go, and the man had left the door unlocked that day.
This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. And that's it, everyone. See ya.